We are joined by the driver who will lead the field to green, Kyle Larson, who drives the number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet. Kyle, by virtue of the win that you had earlier this year, and you also lead the pack in terms of points won through stages 1 and 2, you're in this spot to be starting the field from the pole. Talk a little bit about that and how strong you've been in stage racing so far.
Thank you. It's been a good season for us. Our race cars have been really fast. I've scored stage points in all but one of the stages, so that's important to be the point leader. You got to be running top 10 every race to gain as many points as you can. And like I said, our race car has been extremely good to allow us to run up front like that. So hopefully we can keep it going. It's nice to be the point leader and be starting up front here at Bristol. I always race really well here. I just don't ever qualify good. So being handed the pole like this will hopefully help us out on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever we race. It'd be cool to start from the front, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully that number 1 pit stall kind of helps us gain some spots on pit road and have a clean race.
Sounds good. We'll open up to questions. We'll start here in the front with Bob.
Bob Huckers, ESPN. Safe to say you couldn't run the top like you wished you could in practice, and then also, did you treat this like it was your only practice this weekend?
Yeah, we did treat it like it's going to be our only practice. And then, in the Xfinity practice, I tried to work the top end, and I feel like it would still be really fast up there. Nobody's brave enough to go up there and work in the groove. The VHT is wider than the width of our race cars now too, which makes it extremely easy to run around the bottom, and not a lot of fun. I don't know, maybe some guys like it, but I think, it looks like old Bristol because we're all running around the bottom, but I just don't see how that's fun. So we'll see. Maybe we get some rain and wash some of that stickiness off the bottom, and maybe NASCAR on the track won't reapply, and it'll get somewhat closer back to normal. I thought the fall race, I think it was like 3 or 4 feet wide. I thought that was a good width because you could get your left sides in it, and you really had to be like cautious of hitting your marks every corner. Well, now it's like you just fire off in the corner, and it doesn't really matter where you enter as long as you get your right sides in the grip. You're going to rip around the corner. So just makes it too easy for us, and I don't think that's good for racing.
We'll go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires and PRN. It's good to be Kyle Larson right now. Does that weigh on you? The fact that you're doing so well this year, do you think about that? And do you expect to be where you're at this point in the season?
It's awesome to be running up front, not only in NASCAR, but in all the other types of racing I've been doing. I just hope we can keep it going. It's like I said, it's each and every week I say it's just really cool, and it makes me proud that through all the hard times and all that, everybody at the race shop continue to work extremely hard and put ourselves into position where we're at right now, where Jamie and I both have cars that are capable of winning each and every race. So the race team guys and gals don't get enough credit. Jamie and I, we get all the credit, and really it's them, why we're as fast as we are.
That was going to be my follow-up about the guys at the shop. How big of a morale boost was that?
Oh, it's been huge. Anytime you can run up front, it's a morale boost. So I know everybody at the race shop's pumped up and continuing to work even harder, and it's showing at the racetrack.
We'll come up front to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. You talked about, and other drivers have kind of mentioned the notion that this may be the old Bristol. You haven't really raced on what the old Bristol was like with the single file at the bottom and rooting and gouging. So if it comes more to be like that, are you going to have to change, or how might you have to change in how you do things whenever you race?
I'll probably have to go back and watch like 1980 Bristol or something like that. But no, it's it'd be interesting. I think you look at like myself and Chase, who I feel like have been the fastest all year long, who are young and haven't gotten to race around Bristol when it's been on the bottom. We're both a little bit off in practice, so it'll be interesting. I think you'll see some of the veterans, the older guys who did get to run on the old Bristol, probably excel if it does end up being around the bottom. But Bristol's Bristol, and it's an aggressive track, and I still feel like I should be okay once we get to racing.
And I know there wasn't as much of this stuff put on the track for this race last fall. But how long did it take before you felt like comfortable that everybody was moving up to the outside in that race in August? And is that kind of your timetable, or you think it might even be further because now the lower groove is wider now?
So last fall, practice was very similar to this. We all ran the bottom, but we had more practice to, where nothing's really on the line. You can move up and try and slowly work the top in. You may be a second slower or more a lap, but at least you're working the groove in. Where if it rains for the next day and a half or 2 days, and the next thing on the racetrack is the Cup race, there's going to be a lot to risk to go up there and try and work in a lane. So I think if it does rain a lot, we'll definitely probably end up being around the bottom the whole time. But then again, if it rains a lot, it might wash some of the VHT off. But I think had this weekend have no rain in the forecast, it probably would still get somewhat back to normal. But I think with all the rain, it's going to make it hard for us to go up there and widen the track out. With that, I don't know if the tire dragging could even run up top with that banking, but it may help speed up the process if they can apply some rubber up there for us. We don't need any VHT up there, I don't think, but I think if they could at least apply some rubber up there, it would help us.
Do we have any additional questions for Kyle? Stan?
Kyle, Stan Creek North, outside the box. You got to be praying then tonight that you get some sunshine tomorrow. What's the biggest obstacle, the biggest thing your team needs to do to get you from where you were today in practice to where you should be being on the pole?
Yeah, I haven't looked at. Well, I guess I've looked at the forecast changes so much here. It seems like, but yeah, it looks like it's going to rain quite a bit tomorrow, and then for sure all day Sunday. So we got this one hour-long practice in all around the bottom. So I thought our race car was pretty good. We could always be a little bit better. I thought the 18 and the 77. Those two are probably the best. And I felt like I was probably third to fifth, sixth, seventh fastest. So better than I typically am around the bottom here. So and I felt like the VHT was getting a little slicker, so the balance was changing throughout the practice. But it's kind of hard to. You don't want to venture too far off of your package that you've ran here before, because if the track does move up, or the VHT wears out, you don't want to be lost. So I think we're going to stay somewhat close to where we are right now, and probably tweak on a few things, hopefully make us better.
Any final questions for Kyle? All right, Kyle, thanks for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.